What's up, YouTube? It's Jack Crypto Guy bringing you a time-sensitive update with the crypto market. Now, obviously, Bitcoin went from 107 yesterday to about 114, quickly retraced down to about $106,000, kind of filling the CME gap, which is a good sign, but there's a lot of weakness in the market and there's a lot of speculation that, this bull run is over. There's a lot of just like doom and gloom kind of like across the whole timeline. We have gold kind of taking a plunge. We have just a lot of like OG, so to speak, Bitcoin whales like selling off their Bitcoin. We have Binance selling just like, sell after sell after sell, which is just all pretty much transparent, like on chain. And, there is some buying, like Tom Lee specifically with Fundstrat, he's basically buying up a lot of their Ethereum. I think he's bought like almost like $1 billion this week. But the price just seems to be going down and down, and I think that a lot of confidence in investors, it's just kind of like dwindling down, and a lot of people are pretty much scared. Like, we can definitely feel that in the market, right? And it's just a very weird time to be in crypto, in my opinion, because obviously historically speaking, October is a very bullish month when it comes to crypto, and quarter 4 is usually like the best time to be involved. And I kind of put out a post basically on the 1st of October saying that I think that we were going to reach all-time highs, which did happen, but I do think that they were going to trick everybody into thinking that it's going to be October, make everybody go long, and then there was going to be like this massive like liquidation event. I didn't think it was going to be as bad as October 10th, but I definitely thought that they were going to try to shake out the market before sending everything higher, just to kind of like mind trick everybody. And it's like definitely working if that's what they're actually trying to do. But there's a lot of also indicators that are saying, historically speaking, on a time frame basis, this is the end of the cycle. And I'm not really of that opinion, just because of where we are in like the landscape of things. We have, obviously, every single country is trying to adopt Bitcoin and push positive legislation. Not to mention we have, these treasury companies now and spot ETFs. So naturally that's going to attract more buying. The only thing that I would really caution and worry about is, obviously Cadena yesterday, they announced that they were no longer going to be supporting it. And that's a crypto that was very popular last cycle. It went from like 30 cents to like $20, and now it just obviously like died out. I think that that's like a very good example of, don't marry your bags and don't bag hold something that doesn't have any attention, doesn't have any strong like fundamentals under it. And, hype is good, but you want to ride the hype to basically make short-term money and then rotate into something that's more sustainable. And in my opinion, I think now is a really good time to kind of take a step back and look at the investments that you're more, I guess, that you have more faith in, right? So like obviously Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, those aren't going to go anywhere. They're going to have spot ETFs in no time, in my opinion, once this whole government shutdown gets kind of, sorted out, which I do think is going to happen maybe like in the next like week or two, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go on a little bit longer. And until then, we're not going to see any of these spot ETFs being approved. So I say that to say that you need to really take a step back with your investments, because a lot of these speculative assets or like meme coins or whatever, in the case that this is a bear cycle and we're going to go into this massive downturn, those are probably going to go down like 80-90%. We see this happen every single time. And so, at the very least, I think it's worth consolidating. And this is not financial advice, but this is what I personally do. And I kind of tell like my friends, like, this is something you want to kind of think about. So look at the coins that are going to be getting either, a spot ETF, or that they're going to have some sort of like treasury attached to them, where there's going to be some sort of like underlining bid when it comes to the big boys. And considering that there's so many more cryptos in circulation, you want to look at the ones that are going to have the attention, because that's where basically the money is going to flow into. There's just not enough money in the system to be, going around and just like having every single altcoin go up. As we've seen this whole cycle, it's pretty much like a narrative hype driven. So whenever there's like a hot narrative, usually the money goes into there, people make their money, they take profits. There's like a mini like downturn, and then it goes into like another hotter narrative, and just like rinse and repeat. And I think that the three that you cannot ignore is obviously the Bitcoin, which has been the main driver of this whole cycle, whether you guys like it or not. It's gone from $15,000 to about $126,000. We've had Solana go from $9 to about $300. And then we've had Ethereum obviously go from about, around $1,500, $1,400, and now it's back. It went to, $4,800, $4,900, and now it's kind of consolidating. And I think that these are going to at least stand the test of time. So like, worst case scenario, we go into this bear market, I do think that these coins will go back and they'll probably even surpass their previous all-time highs in the worst case scenario. And then obviously, if we continue just to, trade higher, this is like a massive shakeout, then they're going to continue to do well. And then once you have, some returns on that, then maybe you can speculate whenever we have a green light that the market is turning around. And obviously, if I see anything in the charts or in the markets, I'll update you guys. And as always, make sure you smash the like button, share this video with a friend, and make sure you subscribe. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.